A janitor walks into the office, pushing a heavy cart. People rush past her like she is invisible. "Hey, watch where you are going!" A man in a suit snaps as she accidentally bumps his desk. Papers scatter. He glares at her like she is dirt. Across the room, another employee sighs loudly. These cleaners are so slow. No wonder they never make it anywhere in life. Laughter follows. No one knows the truth. This is not just any cleaner. She is Maya Carter, the CEO's daughter, and today she is testing every single person in this office. One wrong move, one cruel comment, and someone's career is about to be destroyed. Because in just a few hours, everything will change. And when the truth comes out, some people in this office will beg for forgiveness, but it will be too late. Before we continue the story, let us know, where are you watching from? Maya Carter wipes the sweat from her forehead. The uniform she is wearing feels strange. She is used to wearing designer clothes, not this oversized janitor's outfit. But today is not a normal day. Today, she is stepping into her father's company, not as his daughter, but as a cleaner. She looks around the office. Glass walls, sleek desks, expensive suits. Everyone walks with purpose, heads high, eyes glued to screens. No one looks at her. She's just a cleaner to them, unimportant, forgettable. And that is exactly what she wants. At the center of it all is Richard Benson, the head of HR. He is in his 40s, sharp suit, sharp tongue, and an even sharper attitude. He believes power belongs to those at the top, and people like Maya, well, the version of her that he sees, are beneath him. He does not hold back his opinions. If someone is struggling, it is their fault. If they are not successful, they must not be working hard enough. And if they are a cleaner, they are nothing. Across the room, Sarah, the receptionist, greets employees with a warm smile. Unlike Richard, she treats everyone with kindness, even Maya. "First day?" she asks, handing Maya a cup of water. Maya nods, surprised. Sarah is the first person to acknowledge her all morning. Then there is Daniel, a junior employee barely keeping up. He works harder than most, but he does not fit in with the cutthroat office culture. Richard mocks him constantly, making sure he never rises too high. Maya notices the way Daniel grips his pen tighter whenever Richard speaks to him. He is holding back something, frustration, anger, maybe even fear. And finally, there is Michael, the company's COO. He smiles at everyone. But Maya has seen enough of the business world to know when a smile is just a mask. He is always watching, calculating, and today he's about to notice something. Something that could change everything. Maya takes a deep breath. The test has begun. And in this office, some people are about to fail in ways they never expected. Maya moves quietly through the office, pushing the cleaning cart. She is invisible to them. No one stops to acknowledge her. No one even glances in her direction, except Sarah, the only one who showed her kindness earlier. But Richard? He makes sure she knows her place. "Move, faster," he snaps, not even looking at her. "You people are always in the way." Maya clenches her jaw but stays quiet. She's here to observe, not react. But already, she is seeing exactly what she expected. Arrogance, disrespect, and a culture where power means everything. A few feet away, Daniel sits at his desk, typing furiously. His face is tense, his hands shaking slightly. Maya notices Richard standing over him, watching him struggle. "That is embarrassing," Richard says, loud enough for others to hear. "Do you really think you belong in this company?" Daniel swallows hard, but does not respond. The entire room stays silent. No one dares to challenge Richard. He walks away, satisfied with himself. Maya's hands tighten around the cart handle. She knew Richard was cruel, but seeing it up close is something else. How many people have suffered under his leadership? How many have left this company feeling worthless? Then something catches her attention. Two men, standing near Michael's office, whispering. One of them hands over an envelope. It is thick, too thick to be anything ordinary. Bribes. She slows her steps, trying to listen, but before she can hear anything, someone shoves past her. Papers scatter to the floor. Seriously. A woman in a sleek dress glares at her. Can you at least try to be useful? Maya bends down to pick up the papers, forcing herself to stay calm. But her patience is running out. These people treat her like dirt, and they do not even realize who they are talking to. She grabs a piece of paper and freezes. It is a list of employees. Next to each name is a number. Some are circled, some crossed out. She quickly places it back with the others before the woman snatches it away. But one thought lingers in her mind. What are they planning? Hours pass, and Maya keeps watching. Richard continues his reign of terror. Michael stays in the background, never saying much, but always observing. And then she hears something she was never meant to hear. Inside Michael's office, Richard is talking to him. She is a problem, Richard says. Then get rid of her, Michael replies. Maya's stomach twists. They're not talking about her. They are talking about Daniel, Richard sighs. I will handle it. But if she keeps snooping around, she is next. She steps away from the door, heart pounding. They know she has been paying attention. And now they are watching her too. She thought she was here to test them. But suddenly, the test has flipped. And she is the one in danger. Maya moves carefully, keeping her head down. But inside, her mind is racing. She was supposed to be watching them, but now they are watching her. Richard and Michael are planning something, and she has a feeling that Daniel is just the first name on that list. If she does not act fast, they will ruin him, and maybe even her. She takes a deep breath. It is time to push harder. As she walks past Richard's desk, she slows down just enough to hear him speaking to someone on the phone. Yeah, get rid of him. I do not care how. Make up an excuse. He is done here. Maya grips the handle of her cart. Richard is making the call to fire Daniel right now. She looks up and sees Daniel at his desk, oblivious. He has no idea that his career is about to end in a matter of minutes. She cannot let this happen. Maya turns, heading straight toward the CEO's office. But before she can get far, Richard steps into her path. Where do you think you are going? His voice is sharp, laced with suspicion. Maya keeps her expression neutral, just cleaning. Richard folds his arms, studying her. You have been poking around too much. I do not like nosy people. Her heart pounds, but she does not flinch. I just do my job. Do you? He leans in slightly, because I think you are up to something. For the first time since she stepped into this office, Maya feels trapped. Richard knows. Maybe not everything, but enough to suspect her. And then Michael steps out of his office. What is going on? He looks at Maya, then at Richard, his expression unreadable. Richard smirks. I caught this one eavesdropping. Thinks she is smarter than she looks. Michael studies Maya for a moment, then says, Come with me. Maya follows him into his office, knowing this could be a trap. The moment the door closes, Michael gestures for her to sit. She stays standing. I have been watching you, he says calmly. You are not just a cleaner, are you? Maya does not answer. Michael tilts his head. You are smart. You see things. But you are also making enemies. She crosses her arms. And whose enemy am I? Michael chuckles. That depends. Are you here to help me or destroy me? Maya stays silent. She can see it now. Michael is not just another employee. He is after something bigger. Before she can respond, there is a knock on the door. Richard steps in, looking pleased. It is done? Michael nods. Good. Maya's stomach sinks. They just fired Daniel. And she is next. She cannot wait any longer. She needs to reveal the truth. Now, she stands tall, looking Richard in the eye. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. He frowns. Excuse me? Maya pulls off her janitor's badge and tosses it on his desk. I am Maya Carter. Silence. Richard blinks, then lets out a short laugh. What kind of joke is this? Michael, however, does not laugh. He watches her carefully, realization dawning in his eyes. Maya steps forward. You just fired an innocent employee. You bullied and disrespected your staff, and you thought no one would notice. She leans in. I noticed. Richard stares at her, mouth opening and closing. He looks to Michael, but Michael says nothing. Because he knows it is over. The truth is out. And now, the real fallout begins. The room is silent. Richard's face is frozen in shock. His mouth opens, then closes. He looks at Michael, waiting for him to deny it, to say it is some kind of joke. But Michael says nothing. Maya lets the weight of her words settle in. I am Maya Carter, the CEO's daughter. The words hit like a hammer. The arrogant smirk on Richard's face vanishes. He blinks rapidly, stepping back, shaking his head. No, that is not possible. Maya folds her arms. You were so busy looking down on me that you never once stopped to see who I really was. Richard's eyes dart to the door, then to Michael, who is now staring at Maya with an unreadable expression. Then, just when Richard starts to process what is happening, the door swings open. A woman walks in. She is tall, confident, and dressed in designer clothes. She steps forward with a smirk and crosses her arms. Actually, I am the CEO's daughter. The room freezes again. Maya turns to face the woman. The office is deathly silent. Richard's entire face lights up. He looks at the woman like she is his salvation. Yes, that makes sense. This janitor, she is lying. He lets out a breathless laugh, pointing at Maya. You actually thought you could trick us. Maya raises an eyebrow. Oh. Richard straightens his suit, his confidence returning. I knew something was off about you from the start. You really thought you could pull off a stunt like this? Nice try, but you are finished here. The woman lets out a laugh. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Who even let her in here? Maya doesn't say a word. She just watches. Then, the sound of slow clapping fills the room. Everyone turns. It is Mr. Carter, the CEO, the man who built this company from the ground up. He walks into the office, his expression unreadable. He stops beside Maya and places a hand on her shoulder. His next words change everything. Well, he says, looking at the woman who claimed to be his daughter. I do not know who you are, but I certainly know who she is. He turns to Maya. Hello, sweetheart. Silence. Richard's face drains of color. His breathing grows uneven. He looks like he's about to faint. Maya smiles. So, tell me, Richard, she says slowly, who was lying again? The woman's smirk disappears. She glances around, realizing her mistake. Her entire body stiffens. I was just... Mr. Carter doesn't even let her finish. He waves a hand, signaling security. Get her out of my building. Within seconds, 2 guards step forward, escorting the woman away as she stammers excuses that no one listens to. Now, only Richard and Michael remain. Maya turns back to Richard. You fired an innocent employee. You humiliated people for your own satisfaction. You treated the lower-level staff like they were nothing. And now, you are about to face the consequences. Richard stumbles back. Please, he whispers. I did not know. If I had known... Maya cuts him off. Exactly. You did not know, and that is the problem. Michael exhales, rubbing his forehead. He has stayed silent the entire time, but now he speaks. I take full responsibility for this situation. I had no idea. Maya tilts her head. Really? Michael falters. He knows he is trapped. Mr. Carter steps forward. Both of you have shown me who you really are, and I do not need people like you in my company. Richard's knees nearly buckle. His hands shake. Sir, please. Mr. Carter doesn't look at him. You are fired. Michael swallows hard, his face pale. He knows he is next. Maya's eyes stay locked on them as her father speaks his final words. This company will not be run by people who think they are above others. You both forgot the most important rule of leadership. You lead by example, not by stepping on those below you. Security moves in. Richard is pulled toward the exit, his protests useless. Michael doesn't even resist. He knows he has lost. Maya watches them go, then looks around the office. The people who once ignored her now stand frozen, some staring at the ground, some avoiding eye contact. She takes a deep breath. The test is over, and the truth has been revealed. The office is silent. No one moves, no one speaks. Richard is gone, Michael is gone. Two men who thought they were untouchable just had their entire worlds turned upside down. And now, everyone left in the office is wondering the same thing. Who else was watching? Who else failed Maya's test? Maya turns, her eyes scanning the room. Some employees shift nervously, others look ashamed. They all remember how they treated her just hours ago, how they ignored her, mocked her, or looked right through her. And now, they are terrified she will remember them. She does. Sarah stands near the receptionist's desk, hands clenched together. She looks worried, but not for herself. She is watching Daniel, who is still at his desk, frozen in shock. His job was taken from him unfairly, and now he does not know what happens next. Maya walks over to him. Daniel. His head snaps up. He looks at her, then quickly lowers his gaze. I am sorry, he stammers. I should have said something. When Richard was... He stops, swallowing hard. I should have stood up for myself. Maya studies him for a moment, then gives a small nod. You are right. You should have. Daniel flinches, expecting the worst. But, she continues, I also saw you hesitate. I saw you fight to hold your ground when others would have given up. And that matters. She glances at Sarah, who stood by him when no one else did. You both deserve better. Daniel blinks. What do you mean? Maya smiles. You are not fired. In fact, you are getting promoted. The entire office gasps. Sarah's mouth falls open. Me? Maya nods. You treated people with kindness, no matter who they were. That is the kind of leadership this company needs. Daniel's hands shake, but this time it is not from fear. It is from disbelief. Maya straightens. Effective immediately, Daniel. You will be working directly under my management. And Sarah, you will be getting a raise. This company will reward those who earn it, not those who take advantage of others. The office is completely still. Maya turns back to the rest of the employees, her voice clear and steady. For those of you who stood by and watched the cruelty in this office, ask yourselves this: why did you stay silent? No one answers. Some shift uncomfortably. Others lower their heads. Maya lets their silence speak for itself. My father built this company from nothing, she says. He created jobs, opportunities, and a future for people who were willing to work for it. But somewhere along the way, this office lost sight of what really matters. She steps forward, looking at them all. Power does not make you better than anyone. Your title does not determine your worth. The only thing that truly matters is how you treat people when you think no one is watching. She pauses, letting her words sink in. Today, Some of you failed this test. The weight of her words settles in the air. Then she turns to Sarah and Daniel, and some of you passed. Sarah wipes her eyes, still in shock. Daniel stands taller than he ever has before. Maya glances at the door where Richard and Michael once stood. Then she looks back at the team. "This is your second chance," she says. "Make sure you do not waste it." And with that, she walks toward her father's office. The test is over. The real work begins now. Maya stands at the entrance of her father's office. She takes one last look at the people in the room. Some are still stunned, others are embarrassed. But one thing is clear. Nothing will ever be the same again. Richard and Michael thought they were untouchable. They thought power gave them the right to treat people however they wanted. But they were wrong. And now they are gone. Daniel and Sarah, they stayed true to themselves. They did not step on others to move ahead. And today, that made all the difference. Maya walks away, knowing one thing for sure. Character is not proven when people are watching. It is revealed when no one is. Now think about this. If you were in that office today, how would you have acted? Would you have treated the janitor with respect? Or would you have been just like Richard? Be honest. Drop a comment below. Would you have passed Maya's test? And before you go, ask yourself, who are you when no one is watching?